Hello friends, today we start with the valvular heart disease, in that stenosis and regurgitation of a mitral valve. Now first we will see the anatomy of a four valves of the heart. In that tricuspid valve, it separates right atrium from right ventricle. Then pulmonic valve, it separates right ventricle from pulmonary artery. Then other is the bicuspid valve. It is also called as a mitral valve. It separates left atrium from left ventricle. Then aortic valve, it separates left ventricle from the aorta. Okay, this figure shows this one is the pulmonic semilunar valve, then aortic semilunar valve, and bicuspid, that is mitral valve and tricuspid valve. Okay, in that blood circulation is there from superior and inferior vena cava. Blood comes into the right atrium, then with a tricuspid valve it comes in a right ventricle and it goes through the pulmonary valve through in a pulmonary artery and in a lungs for purification of a blood. Then it comes via the pulmonary veins into the left atrium, and through the mitral valve it comes in a left ventricle, and it with the help of aortic valve it goes into the aorta and in a circulation in a all over body. Now types of valve disease includes the stenosis and regurgitation. In that stenosis, it means valve does not open all the way, not enough blood passes through it. And in a regurgitation means valve does not close all the way, so blood leaks backwards, okay, into the chamber. Then now first one is the stenosis. What is the meaning of stenosis? Stenosis, the valve opening narrows, the valve leaflets may become fused or thickened that the valve cannot open freely, then obstruct the normal flow of blood, and its effect includes the chamber behind the stenotic valve is subject to greater stress, and it must generate more pressure or work hard to force blood through the narrowed opening. Initially, the compensates for the additional workload, then it gradual hypertrophy and dilation of the myocardium leads to the heart failure. So this one is the stenosis. Now regurgitation. It is a weakening of a supporting structures of a valve leads to incomplete closure of the valve. Then it results to leakage or backflow of blood from the previous chamber. Its effects includes it causes heart to pump the same blood twice as the blood comes back into the chamber. Then it dilation and hypertrophy eventually leads to a heart failure. Now causes of valvular heart disease includes the congenital heart disease, rheumatic heart disease, heart attack, damage to the heart muscles, papillary muscles, and weakening of supporting structures of the heart, and weakening of the heart muscles. Then infection, it includes the bacterial endocarditis. Now the valvular heart disease includes the mitral stenosis and mitral regurgitation, aortic stenosis and aortic regurgitation, then tricuspid stenosis and tricuspid regurgitation, and pulmonary stenosis and pulmonary regurgitation. In this video presentation, we only see the mitral stenosis and mitral regurgitation. Then after in other video presentation, we will continue about the other valvular heart disease. Now first one is the mitral stenosis. Now we start with the definition. Mitral stenosis is a narrowing of a mitral valve resulting in obstruction of a blood flow from left atrium to left ventricles. Okay, this figure shows the mitral valve stenosis, narrowed mitral valve. Okay, it results in a obstruction of a blood flow from the left atrium to the left ventricle. Okay, like this way. This figure also show a narrowing of a mitral valve. Now etiology: congenital heart disease, rheumatic heart disease, senile degeneration, weakening of supporting structures of the heart, then weakening of the heart muscles, and infections, that is bacterial endocarditis. All this leads to the mitral stenosis. Then pathophysiology includes the due to any etiological factors, narrowing of a mitral valve occur. Okay, by this way, two pathophysiology may arise. First one is the it increased left atrial pressure back due to the backflow. Then it leads to increased pulmonary pressure and it leads to the right-sided heart failure. Then in other way, it decreases the left ventricular blood flow, so decreased cardiac output and left ventricular atrophy may arise due to the more pressure in a left ventricles. Now we will see the sign and symptoms of a mitral valve stenosis. In that, breathlessness and cough due to the pulmonary congestion, then chest pain due to the pulmonary hypertension, hemoptysis is due to pulmonary congestion or hypertension, then fatigue is due to the low cardiac output, then edema or ascites due to the right-sided heart failure, and palpitation or pallor. Then diagnostic evaluation includes the history and physical examination, ECG, echocardiogram, chest X-ray, CT scan and MRI of a patient. Now we see the treatment of mitral stenosis. In that, first one is the medical treatment. In that, antibiotics to prevent infection in case of endocarditis. Then anticoagulant to reduce the risk of thrombus formation. Then diuretics for heart failure to reduce the edema or ascites in a patient. Then exercise restriction to prevent the fatigue in a patient. Then AC inhibitors, diuretics, beta blockers, calcium channel blockers, antiarrhythmic medication and anticoagulant drugs to treat the mitral stenosis in a patient. Then surgical treatment includes the valvuloplasty. Okay, in a valvuloplasty, surgical repair of a mitral valve stenosis is also called as a commissurotomy. This usually involves the open heart surgery in which the surgeon tries to separate the fused leaflet either manually or with a surgical knife. Now, other one is the percutaneous balloon valvuloplasty. It is a procedure in which one or two balloons mounted on a catheter are guided into the heart through blood vessels in the groin, positioned through the stenotic valve and then inflated as shown in a figure. This procedure enlarges the opening through the valve and improve the blood flow. Okay, this figure show a percutaneous balloon valvuloplasty to open a mitral valve stenosis. Then valve replacement. Most people with a mitral valve stenosis who need surgery will have mitral valve replacement. This may be with a mechanical or tissue valve. Mechanical valve made of material which are not likely to react with a body. Okay, these all are the mechanical valve, ball and cage valve and tilting disc valve and bileaflet valve. Now we start with the mitral regurgitation. It is also called as a mitral valve prolapse. Now definition of a mitral regurgitation includes the it occurs when the mitral valve fails to completely close during ventricular systole and some blood flows backward into the left atrium. Another definition includes mitral valve prolapse occurs when abnormalities in a mitral valve allows backward flow of blood in a left atrium during ventricular systole. Okay. As this figure shows, this one is the normal heart and normal mitral valve, and other figure shows the mitral valve prolapse with a regurgitation, in that blood leaking back into the left atrium occur. Now, etiology of a mitral regurgitation includes the congenital heart disease, rheumatic heart disease, senile degeneration, then weakening of supporting structures of the heart, then weakening of the heart muscles, and infection, that is bacterial endocarditis. All these etiological factors leads to the mitral regurgitation. Now, pathophysiology includes the due to any etiological factors incomplete closure of a mitral valve arised, then it leads to the backflow of blood to the left atrium By that way, two pathophysiology may arise. In that, first one is the decreased volume of blood ejected by left ventricle. It leads to the decreased cardiac output, and it also arises to left ventricular hypertrophy. Then other side, it increase the left atrial pressure. Due to that, left atrial hypertrophy may arise, and due to that, increased pulmonary pressure, and it leads to the pulmonary congestion, and right sided heart failure may arise in a patient. Now, sign and symptoms of mitral valve regurgitation includes the breathlessness and cough due to pulmonary congestion, then chest pain due to pulmonary hypertension, hemoptysis due to pulmonary congestion or hypertension, then fatigue is due to the low cardiac output, and edema or ascites it is due to the right heart failure, and palpitation and pallor. Now, diagnostic evaluation includes the history and physical examination, ECG, echocardiogram, chest X-ray, CT scan and MRI. Then treatment of mitral valve regurgitation includes the medical treatment, in that antibiotics to prevent infection in case of endocarditis, then anticoagulant to reduce the risk of thrombus formation, diuretics for heart failure, exercise restriction. Then surgical treatment includes the valvuloplasty to repair a valve and valve replacement surgery. Now we see about the surgical management in details. In that, first one is the mitral valve replacement. This is the surgical replacement of a defective heart valve as we seen in a mitral stenosis. This surgery is usually delayed until symptoms are severe or the patient can no longer be helped by other procedure. Then other one is the mitral valve repair. Using a combination of stitches on the valve and rings around the valve or other techniques, the surgeon tries to repair the valve using the patient's own valve tissue. This one is the mitral valve repair. Then other procedure includes the percutaneous transcatheter mitral valve repair. It is a new option for patients with a mitral regurgitation. Is a device called the mitral clip. It involves the using a catheter to place one or more tiny metal clips on the leaking portion of the mitral valve, effectively creating a repair of a mitral regurgitation without having to do open heart surgery. This one is a new option for a mitral valve regurgitation patient. Thank you friends. Hope you like a video. Please subscribe my video channel.